So welcome to our lesson on linear equation involving fractions. Okay, so the one that we solved in our previous video was mainly on non-fraction linear equation. Okay, so today we are highlighting the fraction version. Okay, so if you haven't watched that video, please go back and watch that video. All right, so let's get started. So this is our first example. We have a linear equation, and it is linear because the highest power of the x term is 1, okay, and it involves an equation. So this is a linear equation. However, it comes with a fraction, okay, divided by 3. So the first thing you would want to do is to get rid of this fraction. How do you do that? You multiply through by the denominator, which is 3, okay? So you multiply 3 by 3. This 3 will get rid of this 3. So you would have 2x plus 4 is equal to 3 times 6 will give you 18. Okay, so now we want to expand this bracket. So we get 2x, okay, then 2 times 4, 8 is equal to 18. Now we subtract 8 from both sides. Okay. So we will subtract 8 from both sides. All right, so that's what we do. Then we get 2x is equal to 10, right? That means that x is what? Is 5. Very, very simple. Let's look at another question. Example 2. So we have 24 minus 12 over x is equal to what? 30. The first thing you want to do is to get the numbers on one side of the equation, okay, so that you can deal with the fraction later on. Okay, so what you would want to do is to subtract 24 from both sides. Okay, subtract 24 from both sides so that you get rid of the 24 on the left hand side of the equation. Right, so we subtract 24, we subtract 24. So this 24 and that 24 will be 0. So we will get negative 12x is equal to 6. Why? Because 30 minus 24 give us 6. Now we would multiply 3 by the denominator, and the denominator is what? Is x. So we multiply 3 by x. So this is what we have: x times what we had, and then x times the 6. Then we simplify. So this x will take care of that x. So you'll be left with negative 12. Okay, so like I said, this x and that x will cancel out. So we have negative 12 is equal to 6 times x, 6x. Right, so we divide through by 6, giving us x equals negative 2. All right, let's look at this example. In this case, it is different from the previous question whereby we had only one fraction. Right now we have 2 fractions. How do we proceed? It's simple. Just cross multiply, okay? Cross multiply. It is so easy to do that one. Well, there's another approach. That is, you multiply the 5 times the 2, so you have 10. Then you multiply 3 by 10. That is also there, okay? But I would advise you to just cross multiply and you'll be good to go. Right, so 2 times the numerator here, and then 5 times the numerator there. Now we have, gotten rid of the fraction. So the next thing that we do is to expand and then simplify. Okay, so let's expand. So when we expand, 2 times 6x will give us 12x, then 2 times negative 3 will give us negative 6, then 5 times 4x will give us 20x, then 5 times 5 will give us 25, right? Then the next thing that we do is to add 6 to both sides. Okay, we want to add 6 to both sides so that we get rid of the 6 here. So when we add 6 to both sides, negative 6 plus 6 will be 0, okay, and then 25 plus 6 will give us 31. So this is what we have. Then the next thing that we do is to subtract 20x from both sides. Okay, so let's subtract 20x from both sides. Right, so we do that so that this 20x and that 20x will cancel out. Okay, so that we have negative 8x is equal to 31. So x will be equal to negative 31 over 8. All right, or you can write it in a mixed fraction form as negative 3 whole number 7 over 8.